In the time when the eyes of Mirab shone brightly, the cycle of Cancer was known as Mirab, the mother of the sea. She stood upon the back of a giant crab and wore a crown of 7 stars, which represented the 7 priestess stars of the Pleiades. The eyes of Mirab were 2 moons of Earth. This was when the Earth still had 2 moons. And Mirab was encircled with the Corcova, the sun robe, which was a symbolic representation of the solar infusion patterns within the heart, and is also to be found in microcosm within the atom. The sun robe is woven from the receptors of divine presence, which are braided into the atoms of the subtle physical body. In the stellar window of Mirab, or Cancer, the focus in the higher spiritual worlds is on the cleansing of the astral and lesser Akashic fields. It is time for clearing away inhibiting and distorted forms and for re-establishing sacred original principle. From the Atlantean Akashically translated Book of 12 Faces, the Sisters of Mirab came upon the earth during the time of the Queen of the Sea, and they swept the tides with brooms of light, just as they sweep the places where souls dream and are reborn in the thought of life. With the sun's entry into Cancer, we begin what is perhaps the most profound journey of initiation offered in the annual sojourn through the zodiacal cycle. Cancer is the sign of the universal mother principle. Leo is the sign of the Lords of Flame, or universal father principle. Virgo is the sign of the Virgin of the world, who takes the fertilized planetary Christic embryo, which has been a product of the cosmic dance between the universal mother-father, Cancer Leo, and gestates this embryo, passing it on to the developmental influences of Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, until it's finally given birth in Capricorn at winter solstice. If we align ourselves consciously to this movement within the Earth's annual cycle, we can then place our soul directly in line to receive a greater measure of grace for the birthing of the Christ child within ourselves. Each soul who is able to accomplish this does so not only for themselves, but for the planetary consciousness as well. As Corinne Helene stated in her book, The Mystery of the Christos, and I quote, "Cancer is the portal where human egos come to rebirth. The transmuting generation into regeneration is the new birth, that new birth which Christ spoke to Nicodemus when he came to the Master by night." The biblical keynote of Cancer is found in those words of Christ, "Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Except a man be born of water," Moon in Cancer, "and of spirit," Jupiter in Cancer, he cannot enter the kingdom of God, Neptune in Cancer. This is one of the most explicit teachings on initiation given by Christ in his 3-year ministry. All men know the natural birth under the moon in Cancer, but few there are who learn to walk the straight and narrow way of renunciation of the flesh and dedication to the spirit implicit in the exaltation of Jupiter and Neptune in Cancer. Yet this is the true and only key to that elevation of consciousness whereby man is lifted from the natural or water birth into the divine at-one-ment of the fire birth in spirit. Now that is the end of quotes, and we continue with those. Thus, Cancer is the sign which ushers us into the Cancer-Leo dynamic of water-fire initiation. The raising of the natural soul's vibration to that of the spiritual soul is greatly assisted in this sign. Cancer also ushers us into the Cancer-Leo-Virgo initiation of water, fire, earth. In this dynamic, we are first baptized in the universal waters of the greater creation, Cancer, then infused with the fire of spirit, the flame that does not burn, Leo, love, and then wed to the earth to be gestated and rebirthed, Virgo, as the product of a cosmic immaculate conception.